they were on the computers there, so they didn't take a day off at all.
And I mean, understandably so, when you know you're going to be playing the likes of Fnatic here in the arena. It is time then for us to get underway. Thank you so much for staying with us as we prepare for our second semi-final, G2 versus Fnatic. It starts on Inferno, and the Swedes are going to be looking to do their very best to maintain such legendary status that they have already held. It's time, though. Indigo, are you still here? Is the London crowd still present? It does seem like the UK crowd is
got a couple of beers under their belt.
A couple of beers. I mean, daytime drinking, it does seem to be going down over here.
It's a phenomenon.
Beautiful stuff. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, I believe is the say. But let's get into it. It's going to be Fnatic versus G2. Let's enjoy this.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember,
Well, welcome everyone for our second semi-final. G2's best tournament in a long time, but they do meet the fateful foe of Fnatic with Venton in the lineup.
Absolutely. It's kind of interesting that both teams have got a new fit recently as well. If you talk about G2, Body's coming in. I feel like they've got the better hand in terms of the French reshuffle coming in. Obviously, we had Devil going towards MVS and Body coming in towards G2. Body, for me, has been a fantastic player. I feel like he's a great anchor for them on most maps. Be interesting to see how they implement him today against Fnatic. Like we said, Fnatic, great at the fundamentals. They just break you down by taking the map control and just having amazing mid-round calls and just having that exceptional skill level that's they're so famed for. So this is going to be a difficult test for G2. I do favor Fnatic on the first map, I have to say, but second map for me, that's when it gets really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the second map is the key to the series entirely in terms of, I think Train is almost the same conclusion in reverse. I think that's G2's to take, but
yeah.
You talk about the map control and aggression. Venton is kind of very different than Olafmeister in that regard because Olaf was the lead charge in being able to win those 1v1 aim duels, and then not only that, being very smart about where he placed himself to make sure that they maintained that control. You talked about the Crims Olaf sort of 1-2 punch at Banana. This is a very good example of exactly what we'll see from him, because this is a situation in a map where control is everything, and controlling that Banana, we talk about it oftentimes like a mid. So if Venton can't find a way to implement himself correctly with Crims and they have to stay a little bit more passive, that might give G2 a bit more footing than normal.
Yeah, we have to remember that he hasn't been in the lineup that long. It's been about a couple of weeks so far since they've actually announced he was here. So obviously they've got a big map pool, 7 maps to actually lock themselves down into. There's only so much time you can actually spend practicing and getting everything locked down here. So it's not going to be perfect from them. And they've said already they've had to change the playstyle slightly. They've had to adapt how the way they're playing it. It's not going to be as fluid. It's not going to be that well-oiled machine, and thus basing it on just the gut instinct of most of the players. They're going to have to change things up a little bit, maybe have a little bit more reliance on Flusher to have some really strong calls. We talk about their T side especially, they go for a lot of like banana splits, we call it, from CT spawn towards that banana area, going towards the B site, and expect to see a lot of that, but most teams know they do that these days. So it's interesting to see whether G2 go all guns blazing, pushing down, going aggressive, locking it down before Fnatic even have a chance to work their standard rounds.
And yeah, again, I mentioned it kind of when we did our segment, it just behind the audience there a moment ago, but implementing the second AWP as well. I mean, I know Fnatic's got skill. There's lots of people that can will it. Dennis has brought it out at times, but Olaf was one that was very keen to bring it up in situations as well. So it's not as much of a focal point, but it is something else that has to change within the structure.
One great thing about Fnatic as well, one massive asset they've got, you brought it up, is Dennis. One of the best pistol players in the entire planet right now. He can win them games just by getting them into those pistol rounds. It's going to be very exciting to see what he brings to the table here. They will be starting on the T side, but this is going to be a really good game, I think. I feel like Fnatic probably will win the T half, but G2 are going to come out. It's going to be like, well, maybe it's like a 16-12, 16-13. It's going to go either way, but you do surely have to favor Fnatic in this first one, I think. We'll see what goes down.
Not to. We're about to get underway. Both teams sat down now after Vugo seemingly getting them quite pumped up in that chant. That might be the most excited I've seen Vugo in a long time. But what do you think of that? This venue, I think it's quite intimate. I think it's like hanging out with a bunch of friends and like,
yeah,
you know,
we're in the best city in the world. We're in the O2, one of the most iconic buildings in the country.
I have to say it is a pretty good city. I have to admit to you
thank you for finally admitting it. After 10 months, you've cracked.
I just don't like to give you anything, Henry. It's just not my style.
Well, it's nice to be here. It seems like the London's up and coming in terms of esports. We've got so much stuff going on, like the Gfinity stuff, and then all the upcoming like Wembley stuff as well. ECS, we've got lots and lots going on. Like I said, we haven't got any teams going on right now, but still, it seems like a hub of esports.
It's time to make a team, Henry.
What, should I bring one back?
You should get Death, Surreal, Rattlesnake.
Who remembers Easy Skins? Do you remember what happened there? It was.
I didn't hear very many cheers.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit of a nightmare. We tried our best, but it didn't really work out.
You did have success in London once, though. DreamHack
That's
London.
true. That's actually true. That's
you beat Renegades. I do remember.
Yeah,
I will never forget. I don't think Sponge will ever forget.
I remember
Try as he might.
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview saying that was a massive low in their career. But I
can't even give you anything.
That whole era for me was a low as well, I have to say. But anyway, it's looks like we're getting into this one. The teams are going to be readying up. And it's going to be
here we go.
Is this it?
This is it.
Do you want to do the hype?
Do you want to do the hype? You do the hype.
I'll do a bit of hype then.
You speak London.
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the second semi-final, best of 3, G2 Esports versus Fnatic. We kick things off in Inferno. Let's make noise for the last time tonight. G2 on the CT side, Fnatic on the terrorists. We're getting into this one. And we'll have a look at the buys coming in as well. Fnatic with 4 sets of armor, Flusher with the smoke and flashbang as well. And it's looking like more of an aggressive stance from G2 on the CT side as well. 3 players towards Banana, looking to shut it down and looking like they're going all in as well with the armor. This is going to go for straight up headshots here.
Shox and RPK, the only 2 on this A site right now, are going to go a little bit more passive as well. Having to give up that wrap side potential, but Flusha knows they're pushing down. They're going to go through CT, but they don't have banana control. This is just going to be a straight take on body and try and race them back. So Smiths is up middle. This is going to mean Scream's the only one to confront them, despite that Shox is rotating quick behind. Scream has the vision, but he's already dinked up as well. Has to fall away, 4 HP, and they'll easily get a bomb plant out of this, but a good shot considering his HP. Better still for Scream. A second one tap, and it's Crims that has to fight them off. Shox, he's got his shot as well.
How does Scream do it? They talk about his one taps on 8 HP. He somehow does that. He gets taken down, and all of a sudden the round comes in their favor. It's Fnatic going with a very fast and simple strategy there, holding 1 player towards the underpass area and 4 going towards the outside. They start off exchanging very effectively, and it looks like they could have locked that down. Just had to find that kill towards Scream. They knew they couldn't plant without it, and he steps out massively and secures the round for G2 there. So the bomb was planted for Fnatic. You're going to assume they'll be buying up in the 3rd here, but G2 keeping 4 players alive as well. Actually a very effective round for them. There's the replay right now. Don't know how he manages to stay alive, but it's very impressive all the same.
Considering that they pursued him, they knew he was dinked up. They had the sight. They didn't even need to confront him that early.
Yeah.
But they gave him the chance, and he definitely took it. M4 now for him inside of the banana position. There's 3 MP9s out.
At this point, Matt, name of the game is just to try and plant the bomb for Fnatic. It's very unlikely they can win this with PT50s and no grenades. If they can try and bait some sort of plant here, it'd be absolutely fantastic. And see G2 with 3 MP9s here. So considering there's going to be AKs in the next, it could be problematic going forward. We'll see how they fare going into this one. Flusher just showing some presence towards the banana area this time. Going to be pushing for that smoke as well. Seeing if he can get the drop on the CTs while waiting on the other side.
Crossfire set this time at the top of middle. Smiths is one of the 2 players with the M4. He's playing arch side. Gives them the chance to fall back to library if they go for smokes, but as we know, they have no utility purchased into this one at all, not even armor, so these MP9s are definitely going to be able to do some significant damage on this round.
Interesting enough, they've left a bomb in second middle as well, so they have got some real estate on the map. CTs are allowing them to take middle here, but still not really much to work with. Keeping the range nice and long. You see Smiths here just holding up, looking for that first kill, presumably will fall back to the site once contact has been made.
Well, this is just it. With this M4, he can afford to do this. He could still hold off this position quite successfully. But they're hugging the wall. They're going to get actually pretty close to him. Quick face, that's the first shot. Distracts, and Dennis is able to pop out. It's now down to the inside of the site. RPK that has to chop them up. But it's that MP9 to only get 1. Venton's got the kill, and they've picked up the M4. Shock still controls pit, which is significant in this situation. The problem is he's got to hold this off until the rotations. 2 kills for him, switches to the pistol. He will eventually go down.
Here we go then, 2 on 2. Still a very difficult task here for Fnatic. The CT's coming in together, making sure they're using the buddy system here. There's no frags coming in just yet, but there it is. Body with the MP9, taking down Dennis, up to Crims, can't hold on, but the bomb has been planted. Actually a very successful round for Fnatic there. The thing with Smiths, like I said, he didn't actually have head armor. The fact he was so committed to that cubby hole, he needed to be on the corner. Spot 1, get the frag and fall back. He just isolated himself by sticking there. Didn't find a single frag. Made things very uncomfortable for G2. They managed to hold on, but like I said, Fnatic getting the bomb down there, they had so much money going into this round. A full buy for sure. AKs, armor, nades, Molotovs, everything. And it's going to be G2 struggling a little bit going into this next round. We'll see Shox now does have the opportunity to get an AWP since he farmed so many kills, but they're going to go with 5 rifles themselves. A couple of kits there, but this is where the gun rounds actually start. Rifles across the board. And we go into round number 3.
Smoke out to the bottom of banana. That is a very powerful smoke as we know it, because it gives Scream and Body so much freedom of movement within that banana position to try and get aggressive on the hold. more importantly as well, it's one less utility expended from those two players, which means they can hold off Nana a little bit longer as the round goes on, and it's Body and Scream that are going to use this. They are going to push down. Flusha was close enough to beating it, but didn't want to push through solo as they've gone for this early buy, so does slow them to about the minute and 20 mark, and now they'll fade away from this. But having already gotten that real estate established and knowing exactly what's going on, they're going to leave Body alone, and this is the early rotation for Scream.
Yeah, this is a big call. Fnatic have got control of the apartments area. That's phase 1 of the operation done. And like we said, they normally try to push the CTs back towards that arch position, take away the vision from the CTs, and they execute those great mid-round calls we talk about so much from Flusha. And Shox and RPK, very passive on the side. They're quite a creative team, G2, in terms of the boost they actually implement and the way they can actually have some very effective crossfires. We'll see what they bring to the table here, but getting to the 45-second mark, looking like Fnatic will be making their next move here. Smoke goes down towards the quad side, and looks like another arch play coming in.
Molotov under Atrium, pushing Shox back further. This means they have to go passive. Thankfully, Smiths has already done so on the arch side, because if he gets caught while those two go back, there's no refrag potential, and it allows for the full wrap onto the A site. So good read by Smiths. Better as he goes back through with the flash out, and RPK is able to re-peek down low. He will eventually fall. No refrag onto him, but with the one advantaged kill, this is a great round now for G2. And Scream, knowing that Wenton's in the corner, really well done and held by G2.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice reaction there. Smiths just knew exactly what was going on. He saw the smoke coming over the top, prepared himself for that flashbang, takes one down, does a ton of damage to some others as well, and stays alive. It's very important. He actually has a good exit strategy as well, using the smoke that Fnatic have dropped, giving the calls to his teammates as well. Scream coming in towards Library, backs him up. The aggro's already been taken away, so that's a very nice round from G2. Fnatic had everything going for them. They actually had the real estate, like we said. They had control of middle, and that's normally for them, that's what works out so perfectly. Just not hitting the shots that time, and Smith's playing it very well indeed. So we're going to round number 4. It's going to be easy pickings here for Shox. He just faces straight down middle with the AK-47, takes a head off JW, gives them a man advantage. There is a partial buy here from the Swedish side. Going to have upgraded pistols and some body armor as well. A couple of grenades, smoke and 2 flashbangs. And once again, going for the apartment play. Going to be getting Benton and Crims towards that area. Options are limited now. CZs and Deagles. Presumably, we'll try and keep things a little bit more close range this time. Maybe smoke up towards the arch side and flash over and see if they can just surprise the CTs and maybe win on the other side. But CT set up perfectly for this. That crossfire towards the pick. You can see RPK and Shox, one watching apartments, one watching towards quad. Can just play off each other so well in that position. Here we go.
So passive, though, isn't it? When you look at the mini-map and see Smith's way back towards CT, they're really just giving this map to them because they want to lure them in. They want these pistols to not have any close angles to be able to play from.
This is just a really nice read, and they know they're on an eco. Just don't give them any opportunity to find one frag here. Smiths, if he spots one, he can stay alive and fall back. Let's give the calls to his teammates there in the pit. They can adjust themselves. This is a little bit more aggressive, though, from Shox. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that.
Shot from Dennis does work out. 8 HP left. No need to peek that. Now they've got RPK isolated in this smoke. He has to make a decision. Can't afford to... Okay, he does. I was going to say leave pit because it's the position he has to anchor. Thankfully, he'll go back toward it. They're going to cross over. He hears Venton going inside, loses a lot of HP, but importantly, he gets the last kill.
Yeah, Shox, like I said, I was just complimenting him. The great setup is going to work so well for them, and he decides to get a little bit too greedy there as he hears him coming around the corner, but he's the only player that drops in the end, so no harm, no foul. Smith picks up 3 frags, and it's 4-0 in favor of G2. We go into round number 5. It's going to be Fnatic now with a different buy. 4 AK-47s and JW on the AWP. He's going to have no nades to work with, so let's see when he decides to pick. I assume it's going to be more of the same. Try and get that mid-control once again and work towards the arch area. Wait for the Smith's flashbang to come in, but he's got an AWP as well, so maybe he'll be going a little bit more aggressive. We'll see what kind of setup they're going to bring to the table here.
JW just holding it mid, no one to peek. Smiths is actually playing a very passive position at arch, considering it is with the AWP. Didn't go for banana. He's not known for being aggressive in a lot of situations, Smiths. We have to talk about this. And although terrain, if we do get there, yes, is a good map. And Dust 2 is one that he's very good on. Inferno doesn't really come to mind because of how aggressive you do sort of have to be on the CT side to find the early game.
I mean aggressive in the sense that he probably won't be hiding on towards the corner. Like where he is right now, he'll go for that first pick. He won't be scared to fall back straight away. He'll be more than happy to take that first shot. But here we go then. It's actually a little bit of a different play for Fnatic this time. Getting the banana control instead of going straight towards middle. That's going to be Flusha and Crims. Just trying to bait out the utility from the CT, try and bleed them out. And the 1-minute mark as well. You can see Scream. He's got no nades left. Body is a very similar story. So they've actually done very well to get to this sort of situation so early on in the round. Flusha now trying to get that first pick. You can see now they have rotated over Shox as well. They can feel this situation may get out of hand.
Yeah, with no smokes at all, like you say. Flash in. They actually want to take the fight. That flash not successful to catch Flusha. Thankfully, they're able to get across.
It's good intel for the CT, so this is fantastic play for them. They knew they were up against it, no nades to work with, had to make something happen there, and they found a pick and actually worked out as no one towards Banana. On the other side of the map, though, it's going to be Crims taking down Smiths. That gives Fnatic some more options here, but they've still got the man disadvantage.
And they still have RPK to confront inside this pit, so good smoke off. They'll be able to get a bomb plant down now inside of the site. Thankfully, Shox finds Venting because it was an awkward position through the smoke for RPK to get find, but it is one shot back from Crims, down to a 1 versus 3. And that's pretty much going to do it with an AWP. Scoped in as well. He's just going to burn alive.
Yeah, this is very impressive stuff from G2. Just we talk about Existence being the mastermind behind this team before he was left or kicked, whichever way you look at it. But Shox calling now. Seems like he's got a firm understanding of what he needs to be doing in certain situations. We talk about that reaction from the CTs. If you lose a pick or you run out of grenades, you need to be something happen. You can't just sit there and allow a terrorist team to fully execute onto a bomb site there. So they saw it, rotated Shox over. Let's take control of Banana. Let's get the intel and potentially find a kill. They do that, rotate back over, and just lock down Fnatic as they're going towards the A site. This is actually maximum loss bonus now for Fnatic, so they can buy after getting the plant down once again. So just 5 AKs this time. The ult wasn't super effective for them, so
that is the one storyline that we haven't really talked about, considering the scoreline is 4 out of the 5 rounds. There has been a bomb down. Good shot from Smiths down middle. That time not willing to cower from the peak. Good shot RPK as well onto Dennis as they start to take these guns away, and this is going to limit Crims. He has to take the fight, but he's in the flames, so already losing health. It's an easy pickup.
Yeah, I like
manages one. That's Flusha, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. His first kill in the game, and indeed it is.
RPK is getting in the zone. You can see even when he's low HP, he wants to take these frags, wants to go and find the jewels, roll back the years, and see whether he can actually finish things off and get that 3rd headshot. But speaking of Flusha now, like you said, had quite a quiet start here. He's only on 1 for 5 right now, but still early days. He's going to be in a 1-on-4 situation with a minute to play with and no grenades. Just going to be wandering through these smokes and seeing if he can make anything happen here. Any opportunity he'll take.
He's got a free road to the site, but Shox and Smith's pretty good idea that he's already walked through toward that truck side. Once the smoke's gone, Smith's going to walk out AWP directly in the back.
There it is. Another clean round for G2. 4 players alive. The money's starting to swell now as well. That's body 10K. Scream on 8s, and the money situation for Fnatic, like we said, maximum loss bonus. They're getting $3,400 consistently in their bank account each round, but without the plan, it makes the buy very difficult indeed. So they will be adjusting this time. A partial buy, it means if you can keep the money around 2K, obviously getting $3,400 into the next round is absolutely fine. So CZs, Tech 9s, armor, some grenades as well. Normally this means you go towards B, try and do a set piece, get the bomb down, make things uncomfortable to CTs in a post-plant situation. That's what you want to be aiming for in these kind of rounds.
This time, Scream's going to rotate really early on this call, but again, it's due to the smokes deployed. Now, you mentioned it a few rounds ago as well that G2 had to adjust because they ran out of utility. They need to be wary of that if Fnatic can start to dictate the pace. Important kill from JW. But with these pistols, that flash does give them a chance to take shots. I was going to say the range game is not really much to work with. CZs and Tech 9s. Good flash. The second one countered Shox. He thought he could get back across clearly. They timed it perfectly, and now it's 3 versus 3.
The thing is, he had no one to play with there, so just had to try and make something happen with that flashbang. Does go down to the 3-on-3. Fnatic do have options here with 1 minute remaining. Body's
in a good position inside Banana, though, so even if they rotate back, it's low HP on Dennis. He'll be the first around the corner. Bomb's going to be there, but he's dinked up. 18 HP. Now this gets very awkward for G2.
Well, he did do some damage as well. You can see Wenton and Dennis on low HP as well. Smoke still remaining for Body. Actually pits a little one-way down at the top there at Banana, so he can lock that down for the next 10 seconds or so. But there it is. Smith's securing the round surely at this stage as he makes it into a 3-on-2, but Wenton trying to be a little bit sneaky here. Flush on the other side as well. This kill is huge. There it is. Takes down Smiths 2-on-2. This gun's very viable for the Swedes now.
And an AWP picked up armor on both. No aim punch a factor. Scream, good positioning, good timing. Here's that bomb going down. Picks up the first. Can't go for the planter directly. Venton was showing, but only just. AWP scoped in. Seeing Flusha turned into Venton apparently, but that's all right.
Get rid of that.
In toward the pit. This is a decent position to be in, but not with an AWP, not this close. If they can get above him or swarm onto him, they're going to peek this together.
That's
both AKs, both with kits. They've got time to figure this out. Venton can't hit the first shot, easily picked up.
Well, there it is. Nice work from G2 once again. Low HP, uncomfortable situation. Like I said, some key frags going in favor of Fnatic as well on the force, well, partial buy, I should say. But making sure Scream, once he found that kill towards quad, he didn't force the situation, didn't bring it down to a 1 versus 1. Disciplined, waiting for the rotation to come from his teammates. It's increased their percentage chance of winning that round, and it's currently 7-0. You can't really argue with anything G2 are doing. They're adjusting, making sure everything's going in their favor. This is interesting now. They go for a double orb setup on Inferno. That's fine on other maps. Inferno is probably not one of the ones you want to actually be doing that on, because it's very reliant on retakes going into bomb sites here. So if you're fighting the frags and getting those entries, it's absolutely fine. But as soon as you allow a terrorist to plant here and you're trying to retake with 2 AWPs, it can be very difficult procedure. But we'll see what they can do here. Shock's going, I was about to say Shock's going aggressive. Is Smith's as well, facing them down towards middle.
This is what I was not expecting to see from him on this map, but it's, I mean, Fnatic's just not able to get anything rolling. They're getting that confidence up so quickly. Double up Shock's this time toward the bottom of apartments. Good thing that he has RPK with him. Instantly has to re-smoke that though.
That's fine. He just doesn't want to take the damage, and he actually manages to stay at 100. So nice work from him. Still a 5-on-4, and Body going a little bit aggressive there towards the top of Banana, smoking them out. It's up to Dennis now. He's picked up the orb, seeing if he can find that next pick. But once again, CTs know they have the advantage on giving anything away now. Going to be making Fnatic go for the next move, and they're actually running out of utility here. A couple of smokes and an HE grenade. That's about it.
Dennis waiting for anyone to get aggressive and reface, but they won't. Not with Smith smoked off. They can't set for a double face. Instead, they just walk out, and RPK holding the angle back in behind the truck. Pop flash out. He won't leave the pit position. He's got Shocks already inside of the site. There's no sense doubling it up. And he tries to body block what he can out of that smoke and throw one out of his zone. He can play forward of it now because there's a gap that's been disposed in it. Smith's a little bit late to face at the bottom of the mid, but they do get forced back slightly. He's got a chance toward Flusha, who realizes it, doesn't want to face the AWP, and it's the lesser of two evils, but still it's an evil because RPK's there with the AK.
Well, the double orb setup, we questioned it as we went into this round, but that's a very effective way to make it work. Both players going very aggressive, finding picks, especially Smiths as well. He's having a lights-out performance here, 12 for 3 so far after 8 rounds.
An incredible scoreline. I mean, this is the map you and I both said was Fnatic's best chance in this whole series.
Yeah.
The current Fnatic, as we know them, as they play, but G2 this is more proof to how great their tournament has been and how great they really are playing right now. And a lot of people will agree it's long overdue.
They're looking very composed as well. They're actually 8-0 up against Fnatic on a map we heavily favored them on as well. So this is very interesting to see them actually facing and pushing and looking like they actually have that killer instinct. That's what you need on a map like Inferno.
And impressively, Smiths leads the way as well on 12 and 3.
Let's see what Fnatic can bounce back on this. Obviously, the loss bonus.
Highest frag total as well on Fnatic 8 rounds in. Highest that anyone has, 3 kills. Crims,
3 kills.
Benton.
No one's really stepping up for them. That's the problem. They're not getting those exchanges going in their favor. Every kill they're finding is either on a save or getting a couple of eco frags here and there. But round number 9 comes in.
I mean, that's shocking. This is like, again, yes, they don't have Olaf Meister, but we always say they are 5 of the most skilled players in the world. It's not just him alone. And when you think about aim duels, you would still expect a guy like Flusha to... Okay, Shocks is a great aimer. Scream's a great aimer, but Shocks, you know, versus RPK. Shocks versus Body, or excuse me, Flusha versus Body. You'd expect Fnatic to win these duels, especially the aggressive style that they play, but they aren't even getting kills on the board right now.
Yeah, they're not giving you any opportunities. The way they're playing the game, they expect people to face them and actually have the duels and actually have the opportunities, but G2 are just playing it so well. The timing's been very effective. The calls, as we said, when the utility's been bled out, they're actually reacting very nicely. It'll be interesting to see what they bring forward into round number 9. Considering the pause has just come in, they're going to bring Shocks over towards Banana this time, looking for that first pick, and that's where Fnatic are going as well. So this could work out for G2. Just wants that first pick and then to fall back. He's looking towards the logs right now, but can flick down, but flashed off, will be falling back here, and you can see his teammate is backing him up with the incendiary. And at this point, Fnatic have got the control of B. They could go for a set piece here. This is like the wall of smokes approach. Smoke towards cores, CT spawn. See if he can make something happen. But Shocks still hungry, gets the first kill, takes out Dennis. They know his position though.
That's such a hard angle to play now. He does have a smoke. Thankfully, he's going to have to deploy it now because the fire is out. But they doubled that up actually, and I'm not sure that was intended. So it's one less utility already left on this B site. And more importantly, Flush has got Body through the smoke. This will give them an entrance.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time now. They're going to have an entrance onto this site. It's 4 versus 4. This will thin out the defense. Smiths can't rotate yet. And Shocks has to go extremely passive on 33 HP with an AWP.
He needs to find one more kill and stay alive as long as he can. This is going to be a very important shot. Nails it as well. Takes down JW. Looking for the second, but he actually hits the leg shot. So he's still alive here, but surely going to be taken down. Can't get any more out of this.
Well, it still could be enough for this rotation. The problem is the smokes are still out on towards CT. So Bomb going to go down. They will get a post-plant positioning out of this, but it's not going to be an aggressive stance. Crims will try and fend them off as long as he can on low HP. If he had got one, it might have been more than his money was worth, but It is the crossfire set from both Nubox and Emo. Missed shot. They know where Venton is. Forced out by the Molotov. They have to get aggressive. Flusha has to fend him off. Good shot to pick it up, but with him going down, Flusha has to clutch this out. He can't stay complacent, and it's 1 kill already. Now he can play the time. Scream to face, Flusha.
It's done enough.
More damage, but it is enough. Exactly that. He can fall away. He'll tap it out, reface, realizes he's not on it. He doesn't need to commit to this. Just gets a little cheeky inside of that smoke. Oh, he's off the target. He's off the target. Scream! He's actually done it. He goes down, but it's going to stay 9-0, and Flusha did everything perfect until the very end.
That's unbelievable. Looked like Scream was out of that round completely. The smoke comes in, the clutch smoke, and it just locks Flusha out. He can't find where the bomb is. What a play from Scream here. He had no chance. Flusha played it perfectly, like he said. It's just his smoke right at the end.
Oh, no. That's so disappointing.
Amazing.
So frustrating for Flusha.
Yeah.
And Scream, that was honestly a desperation setting in. He knew he'd lost the duel. There was no chance. He might as well go for it.
That's crazy. Well, there it is then. We go to round number 10. It's 9-0 in favor of G2. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but once again, getting the bomb down, Fnatic definitely can still buy here. They have got the AWP back onto JW here and going once again towards Banana. They got the first bracket last time, looking to replicate that. As we hit the 1 minute 25 mark, it's going to be Shock rotating back over as well. Just a single AWP setup this time. He's back on the M4A4. It looks like Fnatic have got Wenton towards second middle. He's watching for any flanks and aggression coming from the CTs, but here comes the smokes. And will they be committing towards this?
Good play from Body. He's alone, though, and he's well and truly inside of the fire. Just clips to the edge of it, goes down to 55 in the end as he's able to pull back, and thankfully stays alive in that situation because there was a rotation back away from the smoke toward construction. Good pickup from Flusha. His Body gets caught, but they'll fall away from this Fnatic and try and play the other side of the map, try and figure out exactly what's going on. We're still 52 seconds, but it's a lineup! It's Smith's, it's a collateral, he's got 2 already, and he can afford to fall away to the site, smoke off more time and space spot for G2.
Here it is then. It's going to be 10-0 unless Flusha can pull off an absolute miracle here. Does manage to pick up the bomb as Smith's pushing him in. This could get a little bit interesting. Surely not going to get much out of this though. There it is. Smith's takes him down with the pistol in the end. 10-0, double figures.
And sometimes things just don't go your way. Sometimes it's when it's all wrong, it's really wrong.
Yeah.
You have an unlucky play from Flusha through the smoke, and they go to peek top mid. The peek is correct. Unfortunately, I don't know which was the order. I think we'll see it here. I'm not sure who's the back player out of the 2 of them here. So yeah, so as Venton walks around, and then JW just happens to follow his footsteps, and guess what? It's 2 for 1. I mean, that's just bad luck in a lot of ways.
Well, still not over yet. Fnatic, 5 rounds to go. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still a team of amazing mental fortitude. Not going to be giving up. They know they can still get back into this one. 4 AKs, a Tech-9 on Crims this time. Still not the best buy, but here we go. This is the opening they needed. Take down Shocks. He's getting a little bit too aggressive there. And now they have an opportunity to get towards Arch, but Scream is waiting for them.
Scream is waiting indeed. First shot into Crims successful, and RPK has already found one onto JW. Tag up.
Okay.
That's an easy pickup.
All right.
The damage done, it's easy to follow that through. 11-0 for G2 over Fnatic right now. This is incredible.
This is one for the record books. What a lead they've got so far. And Fnatic, once again, they get that opening pick. They commit to the Arch side, but there's no real method to the madness. As soon as they get that first pick, they're just bundling around. They're not waiting. They're not seeing the CT reaction coming in. They're just forcing themselves into that situation, all in. And Scream just stepping up there. Smith's hitting all the shots of the AWP.
I mean, the other aspect of this is how many bomb plants there has been. You would think with that many bomb plants on this map, it's hard to retake in B especially,
sure,
that you would convert rounds, and they just can't. G2's been so good.
They've just been great at all aspects of the game. The retakes, waiting for rotations to come in, not putting themselves in unfavorable situations, and it's actually been very impressive, I have to say. But we go to round number 12 now. 5 AKs for Fnatic. Once again, going for the apartments control. Not going to be trying their luck towards Banana this time. Back towards Old Faithful, but still limited in terms of the money. Only getting 3,400. 2 smokes remaining, 3 flashbangs, and they haven't really got much of the map just yet. It's smoked out for now.
Shocks is going to play off of RPK again on this pit side, this time on top of the balcony. They've only really gotten aggressive inside of apartments in one particular round when they had the double up setup. Since then, it's been more passive. Good first pick, finally, for Crims. And now Shocks is going to have to be even more patient. Good pickup from Smith to counter that off, though. An early rotation again from Scream out of this B side has been a pretty crucial aspect of making sure that they can hold off these A takes. But Fnatic is still accumulating kills. Great shot from Venton dropping in. And that should do it. This should finally be Fnatic with 1 on the board.
Yeah, the 2-pronged approach there, going towards court and towards the balcony area at the same time. But surely, there it is. We arrive. JW finishes things off, takes down Body. It's 11-1. Like I said, even if they get 11-4 here, Fnatic, that's enough, Matt. That's enough to work with. It's definitely not over yet. We'll see what G2 brings to round number 13, but there it is. Surely the confidence round now has been achieved. We'll get a couple more. That's what I'm thinking. JW, though, this is normally one of his big fragging maps. He's currently, what, 3 for 11. Dennis on 2 for 12. Like, the players were looking for actually finding these big kills and opening up the map for Fnatic, just not happening so far.
And Flusha, who is slow to start, leads the way now for them on 8, but 16 for Smiths. Either way, it's 1. It's a potential reset for Fnatic, though. They have gotten some possession of the apartments by getting in toward Boiler Room. Venton already staring down the hallway as well. They're not going to face off on this, but RPK is going to have that information. Underneath the atrium, he'll have heard them go in toward that Boiler position, so Molotov out is going to just try and buy some space. Or again, early rotation, though, off B. They need to start evaluating this. It's a lot of times they've done this and body hasn't even been contested. They haven't had to pull that second man back at all. And once again here, he's passive inside the site, and Flush is just down toward the tree. He's not even sort of figuring out, trying to probe that site for information.
It looks like G2 will be facing towards the squad area, trying to force the situation, but it's Fnatic and it's Dennis getting both frags here, but they're not done just yet. Scream finds a kill towards him, and now they're going to make their way towards the site. Can Scream find any more? Actually gets taken down by Crims. There it is. Bomb will be planted.
And it was a good pickup again on that first kill. RPK going down right away. Shock's unable to convert despite the awkwardness that was a flash over the top and 2 players sort of
Here we go, then.
peeking away from it. But now we've got a second round for Fnatic.
Getting a game. And the money.
You get to 11-4 and win the pistol. On this map, the way the momentum works, it's definitely a game.
Absolutely.
I mean, even at 12-3, it's a game, but that's a little less comfortable, let's be honest.
We were worried at 11-0, of course. But it looks like now they're getting 2 in a row. They're starting to wake up, hitting the shots. It's Dennis, like I said, had 2 kills before this round. He's finding the entrance kills and actually getting them onto bomb sites. That's what we need from him.
And the fact that they are saving on this is going to give them a read that the money's been dwindled down a lot more than they might have expected in this situation. There's still 10K on Scream. They've still got a buy in hand, but
sure,
if they lost those 2, this would pretty much put them at a breakable situation. So smart play from G2, and Fnatic needs to be aware of that as well, that they have a chance. If they can win one more round, they can force them into an awkward buy, a quasi-buy for round 15.
But here it is then, round number 14. Fnatic finding some form, finally. Well, I assume it'll be more of the same now. They're getting the timings correct on their pushes and actually forcing G2 to face here in some unfavorable situations. It's not the passive play we're used to seeing, and we'll see what kind of approach they come in this time. It's going to be Smiths back on the AWP. And this is the creative boost I'm talking about before. We haven't seen it so far this game, but it's going to be RPK going up on top of the quad area. They normally have 2 players as well, one on the windowsill that faces at the same time. He normally looks towards Boiler, but it's definitely a change of setup here. Just trying to counter the quad aggression we've seen from Fnatic so far. You can see RPK is looking into the wall so far, just trying to dodge any flashes that may come in. And then face and go for that big spray down with the Silence M4. It's key to use his Silence weapon here. Obviously wants to hide his position, doesn't want to have the anti-air gun and the M4A4 making all that noise.
Smokes out in apartments.
There it is.
Good pickup from RPK, though. So finally, I say finally, it's been 2 rounds, but finally a first pick for G2 again.
Yeah, well, this is perfect now. Now they can go into that real passive mentality. Don't have to be facing these angles with Flush on the other side of the map. He's pushing through the smoke, forcing it. Body takes him down, though. Going to get the double kill as well. Gets the bomb. And that should be the round over at this point. I'm not sure what Fnatic can do in a 5-on-2 with an AWP and an AK, but they're going to be smoked out of the situation now. The CT's can afford to rotate over, leave 1 player towards that arch area, holding the flanks. And it's up to Wenton and JW to find the next pick.
JW was desperately trying to do so on top of the sandbags to see just through the edge of the smoke, but that chance is gone. Venton now instead with the AKs will try it again. 3-4 players inside on top of that bomb, and Shocks is timing this perfectly. Watch out, because they're so focused on just trying to get inside of the site. It's Shocks to close it. In with the flank, JW down 12-2. And money is still not great on the Fnatic side for Dennis. The rest of them, I mean, they're going to force it, obviously, but should be able to get him out of Galil. Oh, it is an AK that they actually managed to, so not bad.
So that's slight adjustment from GT there, boosting up RPK towards the quad. Just looking at that first pick, they hadn't used it at all this half yet, and he finds the first frag pretty convincingly as well, falls back, funnels him towards that B area, and his body stepping up, dropping a perfect smoke, flashing them in the right time, so he gets the double kill. That's the round secured and the bomb dropped, so good work from G2. We go into the final round of the first half here. All back on towards Smiths, and RPK will be baited in by Shoxy towards his art area. It's going to be Smiths towards B. And you can see Flusha there just trying to find that first pick. There's a little bit of damage towards Smiths. No kill achieved just yet.
Through the top of middle, though. Counter smoke off toward the arch side. RPK playing it with the AK. I have brought Smiths over late because this is one of the few rounds when he's looked at the B side early. So they don't have him on the arch side to start things off. In fact, he's going to put him inside of the site with he and RPK both facing on the Shuck side aggressively as well. A very questionable peak in the fact that there wasn't much utility expended to try and make it happen. But RPK, he holds the angle. He holds on two, and GW's got to push fire. When that gives it away, Scream hears him being tagged up. It's all too easy. And he actually tags up Flusha inside of that smoke. All right, Scream, settle down. Either way, Flusha in 1 versus 2. Tries to tap out the bomb and bait someone through that smoke. No one's going to take that bait, though. And G2's playing this quite smart. With 30 seconds left, Flusha's going to have to book it to B, and he's going to be caught.
Well, they know he's in library now, so it's up to Flusha to try and get out of this situation. Has got an option to get towards the B side. Looks like he'll be taking it as well, but you can see it's going to be Scream coming in the flank as well. So 20 seconds remaining. Still time to work with here. And Scream doesn't want to, once again, he doesn't want to make it 2 one-on-one situations. He wants to make sure they can get the intel, allow him to plant, that's fine. We'll see 40 seconds on the bomb these days. And the bomb will be going down here. They know they've done the flush damage towards Flusha as well. So there it is, plant comes in. The call will be coming from his teammates on a pin to him, making sure they're facing at the same time and not making this awkward for themselves. Actually, body coming from the same area, interesting.
They're going to go together. This is the guarantees the double peak. It guarantees that it can't be isolated. Flushes back out towards Spoos. He's going to wrap all the way through into construction as well and just not peek for any extended period of time. There is a smoke, though, on body right now, and both of them have kits. So if they can get that on top of the bomb, we could see a similar situation. I said they were going to go together and face together, but Scream just walks out on his own. Quick tap from body. That smoke goes too far, but he still finds the shot. It's going to go to 13-2 for G2 at half.
It was a little bit awkward there for body, but he pulls it off. The smoke didn't land exactly where he wanted. You could see the look on Flush's face there. Head in his hands. 13-2, you're absolutely right. I was saying a 12-3, 11-4, that would have been good, but they look a little bit discombobulated right now. I can see Fnatic there, just Fnatic, Flusha, he needs to be the one like riling them up, getting them back into this, like talking to them. It looks like no one's saying anything right now. I guess Virgo will be trying to feed some information towards them and give them something,
I mean, that's the thing. What can you give them? They have to start winning duels, more importantly than anything. They've just been getting out-aimed in multiple situations. And as you said, that, I mean, the pass, you're right. G2's style wasn't giving them anything, but that passive style from G2 is very successful.
Well, I think we're going to be going to a very quick break before the second half, but don't go anywhere. I feel like this one could have a few more twists and turns.
Crim's just stationary on land against the best.
Yeah, I mean, the other passive aspect of that is they know there's no one aggressively in banana. But there it is. Nice shot. You mentioned it from Dennis. He's got 2. Looking for a 3rd. He's going to find it as well. And Flush just chimed in with 1 more, making a double for him.
That's why, Matt, one of the best pistol players on the planet. That was absolutely sick. Those 2 shots is what makes that guy like so valuable for this team. He gets him right back into this game. What a play that was.
He is hands down the best pistol player in the world right now.
Yeah.
We used to talk about Forrest and how good he was on pistols. This is even another step beyond, I think.
Well then, G2 going to round number 17. If you don't get the bomb down into T side, the normal protocol will be going for the upgraded pistols and armor as well. And it's the force pipe. And we'll see what Fnatic bring here. They've got 2 UMPs, 2 M4s, and a scout on JW as well. He's going a little bit aggressive towards middle. I don't think they get those tags nice and early, but this could get problematic for Fnatic. You can see there's the UMP, both of the UMPs towards Banana actually, so if the Tech-9s were to force into that area, that could get a little bit interesting.
Flusha and JW together, same side, Arch. Graveyard position for Dennis as well. Watching in toward the apartments. Armor this time bought up for G2. We didn't see this from Fnatic on the second round of the first half, but it's a double tag from the scout, and that's so easily picked up as when the nade goes out and then Flusha repeaks, it's just a shooting gallery. Good response from Shocks with only 1 kill, though. That's not going to do much to the economy. And bomb drop down on the archway side. He can't even go for a fast plant to try and build up bank. It's going to be another round for Fnatic.
Yeah, we talk about most players in that kind of situation. You spot those amount of terrorist players coming towards you, you'd fall back and try and get 1 tag. Not JW. He goes for the collateral shot and a decent grenade going in as well. Sets his teammates up for the nice spray down coming in from the arch side. So it's comfortable so far for Fnatic. We'd assume this will be a full eco now for G2. So yeah, here we go. Was there 4 Glocks and a P250 on Shocks? That's all they've got to work with. They can get a bomb plant down here, but fantastic, but I just don't see that happening.
Even with Dennis's pistol round, he still sits on 8 kills No
Really?
one on Fnatic higher than that, aside from Flusha, who's now on 17. So he alone has stepped up his game, but the rest are going to have to arrive. It seems as though they want to make a charge to do so. JW, Venton, Dennis, all getting a turn in this round. Not without Flusha, of course.
This is a round that NIP normally drive. They actually came over this, so can you force down towards middle, even though you know on the full EK, you want to send out a message saying, we're confident, we're going to be doing this to you, we're going to try and shut you down, and finish the round up as quickly as possible. That's what Fnatic have done this time, but it's Dennis that has dropped, and Shox doesn't really have many options here. Gets towards the pit, but no bomb. It's not that interesting. He's looking for one more kill here. If he can kind of rat one out, that would be interesting. I guess he's in the position towards that truck side. 36 HP, just hoping someone presents himself. Maybe he thinks he's coming from balcony. Here we go. They have been spotted now.
Shox, though, overwhelmed. Can't find an angle, and Crims with the kill. So literally everyone that time from Fnatic getting a kill. Team Ace.
A team ace, why not? But it's where things get interesting, Matt. We do go into the first gun round here. It's going to be Fnatic on full rifles, of course. Don't want to risk anything here. And an AWP on towards JW as well. G2, reasonably strong buy, lacking Molotovs. That can be a big issue on towards like bomb side B, for example. If you're trying to execute fully on towards there, you can't flush out the CT. Let's see what Wenton does. He's going a little bit aggressive there. Straight towards those sandbags. Grenading down as well. Does reasonable damage to the body. Actually takes him down to 49 HP, so that's a great start from him.
Yeah, big start. They're putting a lot of presence inside of this banana position right now as well, trying to force back the CTs. Good pick. Body goes down, follows it up, and now they can fall back and stay inside of the site, stay alive, and control the time. Like we said, Henry, I mean, this is the CT side. This is Inferno. It's extremely momentum-based. This could start to swell out of control and become a game that's far too uncomfortable for G2 considering the start they had. Smoke goes out. Crim's going to try and face on that. Forced away, so it does put some pressure on Venton. Smartly, though, he's gone to new box. He's going to separate himself so that they have to fully commit to the site before they can find him, and that'll allow efficiency, but Shox able to put him down in the end. Might get a bomb plant out for G2. They have no one covering off in this construction position, though, so he's not 100% sure. And look at the damage on Scream through the smoke.
Well, there it is. The bomb is going to get planted at this point. I feel like it's a little bit arbitrary because they can't really do much with this one. It's going to be a 4-on-2. Scream on 1 HP as well. He's just getting wrecked by the grenades as they come in. Shox now steps up, gets the first kill towards Dennis. Could do more here. Had the opportunity for both those kills, but he does get taken down by Flusha in the end. Just going to be Scream now. Does damage towards the CT's money, but they're not going to get the round, unfortunately, for this time. But G2 do get the bomb down. A few kills. But for Fnatic at this point, regardless of the first half score, you just play your game. Just round by round on the CT side. As you said, you can take control of the money. And just do your thing. As a machine gun coming out for Dennis this round. A misbuy, of course.
That's definitely a miss. That has to be a misbuy. The money's not that good. Situation absolutely not great. But Dennis, all right, why not?
That's a really.
Where's he gonna go with it?
The M249 is out, guys.
Just rush apartments.
Can we just keep
rush
it on
apartments,
Dennis
no stop
now, just to see what happens?
Let's do it. It's a long corridor. There's a big spray in that gun. It'll keep them in a more confined area for you.
What a nightmare. Anyway, we're going to be going towards middle here.
He's actually going to play it
Luckily,
the graveyard.
Luckily for him, G2 just have pistols here, so... Oh, there we go.
1, 2, come on, team tapping. I believe. Oh, I don't believe. Either way, JW's got the Tech 9 back out, considering he's on the AWP up close. It's in the end down to just Shox, like you say. Thankfully, they did just have pistols in that round. It could have been an awkward situation. The unfortunate part, that the worst situation that does occur because of this is that his money now gets dwindled down to far worse than what it potentially should have been, and he had to overcommit to the face just to try and get kills with it, so.
He did type sorry, guys, so we do know it was a mistake, so don't worry. It's not going to be something you should be trying in your matchmaking games at home, I assure you. As we go into round number 21, it will be a full buy here from G2. Smiths with the AWP, and they have got a nice full buy here. We'll see what they can do. It's going to be Dennis towards the apartments area this time. And JW looking for that first frag towards B. G2, quite a passive hold, they're not committing so much. Smith's just seeing if a boost may be coming in. Renegade style towards the top of middle there.
They haven't put as much pressure into Banana this time either, but they do have control of Boiler. With Shox. They put a pop flash out, they don't peek on that. So with Shox there, they could have gone to a face toward truck side, tried to force the CTs back. They have done at least that by getting this control. So JW inside of the pit, and Dennis inside of the A site itself, not going to be committing to a peek early. Flusha refacing behind smoke is going to go for a wild spray. He can afford to do so with that smoke out, but as soon as that's gone, he has to go complacent as well, more passive. And he tries to find Shox. Meanwhile, Body, RPK, Smith, Scream, all of them. And Scream on 12 HP, heading back toward this B site. Well timed from Venton because he's just rotated back without the pressure on the top of A.
Here comes the play, looking like the T's will be executing towards the site. Wenton is flashed as well, but drops a decent incendiary. Next round will be very important. His body makes his way towards CD spawn. He's going to find Flusher here, and actually had the drop on him.
Flusher, though, is held back. It's Venton instead. Body down. Crims still inside of Emo as well as in the site. He can pop out. We know how good he is in these situations. We know how efficient he is in the B side. He's known for it. And he goes down those Smiths through his teammate, no less. Takes Shocks down to 34. Now, that could be a benefiting factor, for Fnatic in the fact that it's going to be just Smiths left with the AWP. It was an easy pickup for Flush Up. 13-8. It's definitely getting closer, and it is going to be a full loss bonus. But unlike Fnatic, when they were in this situation, there's been far less bomb plants for G2.
Yeah, they're struggling to actually find any kills when they made their way towards the bomb site there. G2 focusing mainly towards the CT spawn area, but just weren't getting anything for it. Very passive hold there. Crossfire's coming from Fnatic. Just making sure the T's were fully committed to the angles there before a kill could be obtained. Flusher, you can see in CT spawn as well, fully aware of the situation. Is not giving them anything. Makes his way towards the construction area, locks them down, and just denies another plant there. But round number 22, this is getting a lot more realistic now for Fnatic. First pick comes from Scream. A little bit frustrated perhaps as he just forces his way up there by himself, and a chance of a refrag there as they get smoked out as well. That's the first frag going in favor of Fnatic, and this is opening the window ever so slightly to let them back into this. Still a lot of work to do, but looking very convincing so far.
Yeah, definitely. Even in this situation already with Scream down and RPK on 21, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to try and get that gun over to Body. Problem is Body's a banana right now. RPK's way back toward the top of alt middle, grabbing the bomb again. But now it's their turn to not find picks. The kill totals have stayed pretty much the exact same as they were when we hit halftime. 2 kills in the last, 1 before that. They did get it down to 2 men remaining in round number 4 in this half, but that was the only one they got a plant on as well. So, I mean, they've got to find these picks. They've got to create some space and opening. Smith's going to try and commit to this on his own solo peek. Does get a decent damage into Crims, but he can fall back and still play off of Venton in this situation. And they've got flashes, no smokes, but they've got a rotation coming in with Flusher already on Speedway.
You know, Shock's going to be making his way towards Arch here, but he's going to be shut down by Flush. You can see it on the minimap so far. There's no chance he can really do much with this one, but somehow the timing's working in his favor. His teammates now making their way towards B. This kill's going to be huge. Crims opening things up, taking down Body, and now Shock's stuck in such a difficult position here. Can his teammates actually find him? Once again, they're just denied any frags. Finally, Shock's gets one, but there it is. Wenton from... Oh, this is just a lockdown, isn't it? They can't get their frags. They're wanting those jewels. They want the CDs to face them. It's just not happening.
And pause called from Shocks, so he's going to make an adjustment. They have to make an adjustment. This is reminiscent of Katowice finals this year, when Luminosity, in 2 of the 3 maps, it was a best of 5 that went all 3-0 to Fnatic, but it very easily could have been 2 of those maps to Luminosity when they had it at, I think, 13-2 and 12-3 respectively. Yeah. And Fnatic just chisels back in. They just wear you down, and as soon as you give them these opportunities, as soon as they start feeling confident, they are a whole other beast to go against.
We go into this one now. G2 just gotta take a pause, allow Shocks to analyze the situation, work out what's going on. It seemed like they're getting a bit frustrated now. Like I said, Scream just trying to force the situation, trying to find that first kill. Was no real rhyme or reason to what he was doing. He was running up towards there and seeing if he can find that first kill. Got completely locked down, and his teammates segregated from him as well. So just need to slow things down, I think. Just work out what they're doing. Haven't seen any full execution on them yet. We haven't gone for that just nice default of getting the map and just dissecting it, getting towards apartments and smoking out the CTs towards Arch and try to do a split towards quad. Something simple like that. That's all they need to be trying to do. They're working off the picks and then trying to force away in towards B, and we've seen a great methodology here from Fnatic in terms of the way they're holding the B site. They're reading it very well and actually not giving them any kills whatsoever. Got players like towards the cores not facing, and then the new box, and it's not giving them anything to work with. The time's running so low. You can see the terrorists look very uncomfortable. And it just falls apart the last second for G2. They can't get those opening picks. That's what they're relying on so much so far. And the money, like you said, the bomb's not being planted. That's a key issue here. The current score is actually 7-0, in the second half. So obviously maximum loss bonus. Without those bombs going down consistently, you only get $3,400 each time. So they're going to be taking a partial buy this time. Don't get themselves into this massive rut in terms of the money of constantly force buying, not getting any plants down. Let's take a partial this time. Keep the money around the 2K mark, or Tech 9s, P250s, and they've got 5 smokes. So this will be something a bit more methodical. Actually, he's going in with a attitude to try and get the bomb down, and like we said before, it's normally set pieces you try to go towards when you have this kind of buy.
Venton facing this time. The top of Banana. Flush it, top mid. Molotov to contain G2.
Here we go. Yeah, you can see them setting up for it.
I mean, bomb down has to be a step in the right direction at this point. Pop flash out top mid, smoke on Arch. Flush is going to play it forward of it. There's also a smoke front library. Awkwardly though, oh, the flash is perfectly timed because he expended a lot of ammunition and now he's actually going to get away with it. Those smokes benefit him. Scream gets a kill, but it's all too late because they've already rotated around Dennis and he picks the rest up. Well, that was extremely awkward.
Sometimes defense is the best defense. You can see as soon as the smoke's coming over, Flash are reading it, say, you know what, I'm not going to let you execute here. I'm going to flash through and just take you down before you think there's nothing going on here. And it's a ballsy play for sure, but it looks very, very ropey, but it pulls it off. He gets 2 frags and his teammates backing him up as well. And they just shut it down before it even began there. So 13-10, Fnatic hit double figures. This was a 13-2 first half match. So they definitely got themselves firmly back into this game. We said it could be a possibility, and they've made it a reality.
It took 11 rounds before Fnatic found one of the 2 on their T side.
No one was fragging whatsoever. But it was that dream pistol from Dennis. It got them right back into this. JW spotting the kill towards Apartments there, but going to be getting away with his life. Missed the first shot. No one taking any damage. Everyone's falling back and agreeing. They should just go back to their respective sides.
Another smoke thrown late. Venton this time deploying his Crims. Still has one as well on this B side. Flush is the only one that doesn't have a smoke left. Or excuse me, any utility left rather. Venton's just got the Molotov, but they are stacked up. Potentially just trying to bust through this, try and go for a faster play. Forget the picks, let's get in with strength and numbers and go for the trades. They'll isolate out Crims. Venton facing, they know he's in toward that emo position, and a good pickup from Smith. That's very smart, but it is a trade in the fact that the Molotov already deployed on the inside of the smoke. They didn't know that they were walking into. Will take down his killer, but better still, G2 gets body, and finally a bomb plant. Now they have to rotate over. Look at the HP, though.
Yeah, they still have the man advantage still here, so the crossfires are going to come in. One player towards Banana as well. That's going to be shocked. No rotation coming from that side. The CT sticking together, going to be pushing through. But that Molotov's actually very effective. RPK can actually justify facing this as well. Bomb ticking away. CTs need to work out, is this worth it? Will we be worth chucking away this money considering the situation? There it is. First kill comes in. Great shot from Body. And an even better one from RPK as well. So there it is. Round decided. G2 finally arrived here on the second half. It's going to be 8-1. Flusher does find 1 kill, that's all he'll be finding.
And he's got tons of money. It's not like this is a save situation, but he might as well try and stick around and do every bit of economic damage he can.
Yeah, what he's trying to do there is bait the terrorist to come back and die with the bomb. He manages to stay alive as well. Did he get the AWP? Yes, he did.
Wow.
But there it is, a nice little execute there from G2. That's what you need to do.
He got the AK. Flusher got the AK.
No, they got an op, didn't they?
He has an AK he threw over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he grabbed an AK on the way out. He did not get the op, just to clarify.
Pretty sure he did, but okay. Maybe you're right. Anyway. We go into round number 25. Yeah, we just heard from he did, Matt, in production.
Really? Because I saw him on an AK in the overlay. Because where would the AK get carried over from?
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
Well.
Doesn't matter. Because, yeah, this is JW's op. He bought it. See? Doesn't say someone else's.
You're right. Okay. I saw it on the floor. I just assumed. Anyway, regardless.
But either way, it is still going to be 5-a-side. He did manage to save that one. I think he thought he was actually going to be gone with the bomb, hence why he threw his away in the first place.
Possibly.
Smith's and Body in behind smoke. Crims and Venton going to try and play off that, and they can actually try and push down the archway a little bit, or rather, excuse me, the pillars a little bit further in this banana and get the early rotation. They haven't been relying on that play as much as G2 did on their CT side.
Yeah. Well then, this time going to be smoking off towards the quad side as well and just trying to, there we go, this is like dissecting the mid area here, but Shock's burning alive, goes down to 1 HP there. That was very close indeed. One more tick, that would have done it.
Wow, that almost would have done it as well as he jumps out the window. Why not? Bye-bye, cruel world. This is Crims. We know this spot. He plays it so much, and they do know it. They do try and check it. Smith pre-fires into it, but if you see this smoke, you have to know he's there, and there has to be a counter to that.
At this point, they haven't got any control of the map apart from B. You can see Shocks now. He'll be holding towards T-Step. It's probably his best move here. Like, considering he just wants to get 1 kill. RPK opening it up, though, taking down JW. This gives some options as they start going to the side. There are 2 more CDs waiting for them, though. 30 seconds remaining. Bomb dropped by Crims. And now it's up to Joel. The refracts need to come in, but it's Wenton and Crims is doing absolute work here. Now Shoxy on that 1 HP. Not going to be enough here. There's 20 seconds remaining. He has to see what he can do. I don't think it's going to be much.
So, Shocks down and out. All too easy for Fnatic, and although it's 2 rounds to go for G2, it's tantalizingly close. It is a reset. Now, thankfully, because they kept 3 players alive on a bomb plant the previous round, they do have some money to work with here, but this is a fine call. This is a very borderline call on how you want to approach this. I mean, this is, in my opinion, you level this out and go for pistols, and that's exactly what they've elected to do once we see this replay
See that?
from the previous round.
It's very comfortable from Crimson. He's not flashed, he's not being molotoved, he's just shooting them as they run through a grey screen on smoke as well. It's like G2 did so much good work there, opening up the map, and just didn't have anything left to work with as they made their entrance towards the site. Going to number 26, it is going to be not even a partial buy here, just Shocks and Scream getting some armor, and Desert Eagles and Tech9s, that's about all they have. Looks like 4 players towards the apartments here, and Shocks will be flashing him in. Here goes the flash. Can JW hold them off? He's got the AWP. It's an awkward situation, but it's Dennis mopping them down as we go into a very simple situation.
Oh, yes. He reads it.
Little knife there. Left clicks is all he requires.
Now, smartly, but unfortunately, Smiths tried to not buy a single bit of kit last round, stayed on the Glock, and they do fortunately get an AWP over to him, but he left him light without a bomb plant from buying one himself, which does weaken the buy elsewhere there. Henceforth the Galil on the body this round. So still not a perfect situation for G2, but that op's going to have to be something they heavily depend on. I mean, even worse, Scream's the one who bought it, and he's got no armor there, and it's not even worth it.
This is actually spiraling out of control now. So yeah, Scream with no armor whatsoever. And the first pick coming in is going to be JW going aggressive, of course. Finds that first kill. He's up to Shocks now as he goes towards the apartments, trying to see what he can do, but the Terrorist is locked out of Banana for now. This can be fine if you can just hold up and be a little bit patient. You know the CTs have run out of smoke towards that side of the map. See body now boosted up. I'm getting any intel out of this just yet, but CTs now with that man advantage. You can see it on the minimap. They've just gone into a real passive mentality here. Wing formation on towards that A site. Is going to be holding up, looking for the first kill and then falling back.
This is just incredible. G2, the pressure has got to be on so hard, and this sort of situation where the game sways so heavily against them is going to affect them potentially into the next map as well, which is Cash. That's not the easy one. We think of Train as G2's map in this series, but it is Shock's first pick finally. JW going down, first pick on the execution, I mean, rather, but it is Dennis that's holding true. 2 kills for him, and Flush is able to get to Library as soon as that happens. So despite taking him down, bomb drop, body, he may have the A site, but he's got work to do just to grab that bomb back.
Yeah, Fnatic is reading them so well so far. It seems like G2 just commit all 5 players to one side of the map. They're not actually trying to shove the CTs back in terms of B. They're kind of sticking together. And as soon as Fnatic work them out, that is out-fragging them right now. It's going to be 14-13. We have got Body trying to get a plant down here on the A side. Looks like he'll be faking it out. That was his chance.
I feel like the best, yeah, I mean, he's going to try and win this 1v3, and there's not a chance to do so. He should have stuck that down, got money for his team, because they're only up to 3 rounds on this loss bonus, and that would have been an additional bit of money that might have put them in a forced situation.
Can you believe it? After a 13-2 first half, now look how jaded G2 look. They've used their timeout already. Got no money going into round number 28. This could be Fnatic tying things up. What a storyline. What a roller coaster of a game this has been. And it should be a very comfortable situation for Fnatic indeed. Just some Deagles, Glocks, Tech9s, that's about it. No nades whatsoever. And the buy last round was a bit of a nightmare. Like I said, Scream with no armor, and the AWP pick coming straight away for JW. They're just fully up against the ropes now. Don't really have an answer for Fnatic right now.
JW facing. Did clip body. It looked like he actually didn't quite land it, but he does just edge him through the edge of the wall.
Well, options very limited here, I have to say, for G2. What do you even try and do? The Deagle trying to open things up there, but Flush up, shutting it down pretty effectively, making a double for him.
RPK just caught in the open of a trap. Once he was committed with his teammate going down, they both double face. It's going to be the other 3 walking in the same direction. Pistols out. It's all too easy. Flush, spray control, all 3 gone.
Nice little ace. He's actually on 34 frags now.
Just going to mention, we mentioned how 5 rounds in he had 1 kill. He's at 34, and RPK leads the way now for G2 on 22. It's definitely a tale of 2 halves, because this is the complete opposite.
What a turn of events that is. Like you said, 1 for 5. He brings it in to 34 for 14. Unbelievable showing from him so far. But round number 29, we have got 5 AKs and a nice 4 buy here from G2. Still not over yet, but it's looking like they're a little bit out of this one. JW committed towards that car area. Going for the first frag, but it is answered back by RPK. So something to work with here. Are they going to be commit straight away? Smoked out for now. This is fine, though. A 4-4 should favor the Terrorists, but considering the HP, I'm not so sure that's going to be the case here. Scream goes out on 21. Shocks on 46. Let's see what the reaction is here. No smokes remaining for the CTs there. That's the final one dropped. 3 incendiaries, though. They've got plenty of time to work with their G2, so they don't have to force the issue too much. They still have 3 smokes themselves. They could go for a full execute here. 4 Molotovs as well. That's all they need to do. Something simple, stick together. Try and flush out the CTs and making sure you're refragging effectively.
Body already in the corner and behind sandbags as well. Gonna try and hold this top of Banana so there's no pushing through. Gives them a chance to run backwards, and that may have to be the option they go with because RPK's already fallen to Flusha.
Balls on this guy. Standing in the fire, challenging, looking for the second as well.
Body's gonna fall off that because the flames are far too close for comfort. Flash is over. Late smoke on a CT, but it's a push through. Good catch. Good reaction from Scream because Crim's tried to take the fight. We've seen them do that a few times. Good lineup from Benton. It's the man over his shoulder. Scream that goes down, although he's still in toward this new box, and he gets aggressive again. It is going to be traded out by Shox, who now plays a 1 versus 2, 16 HP. And he's just going to get this down, but he's already being faced. 5 HP around the corner from Spools. He's expecting the second peak, and they are going to slow this down and play this correctly. Fnatic off of each other. No chance for Shox to hit a miracle. But he's in a decent position to cover off the angles. They're going to go together. First shot's easy because he's low HP, but the second one, that was close. Just over the right shoulder. It is going to be Fnatic who will go on to the first map point. That is an incredible statement in itself.
Shox had to dig deep there, try and just make something happen, make it viable for him, finds the first kill. But like you said, the CD sticking together, making sure the refrag potential was there. It comes in, and I can't believe this has happened, Matt. Not like this, G2.
3 bomb plants total on this T side from G2.
Crazy. They did get a plant down in that previous round, so they do get the extra $800 each. So we have 5 AKs and decent utility as well, but I feel like their chances are dwindling here. They need this last one just to force it to overtime. One more Fnatic will do it. They'll take the first map in the best of 3 here. More default from G2 once again. Smith's taking quite a lot of damage there, and a nade comes over the top as well. Just hits the back of body there. What have they got? Have they got anything left there? If ever there was a time to open up the old strat book, this would be it.
Smoke. Both at the end of the apartments and at the top of middle. Doesn't quite clip all the way to the door and boiler, so they can actually get a chance to try and execute through that. Smokes go out and turn, therefore, toward JW. Scream's just going to wait because that Molotov's locked him against the wall. Shox actually should be working out toward the top of the apartment and balcony, but with Dennis there and another smoke deployed, they have to wait for him to get that positioning.
Okay, well, they've got middle now. That's something has been achieved. They push Flusher back towards the library, JW and Dennis in the pit as well, so they still have 3 smokes to play with here, and time. Don't need to make a mistake. Need to make sure they're actually dying together or actually fragging. This is very important now.
This is huge from Flusha. Look at that flash timing. God. You were just waiting for it. He knew they were there the whole time, and he just waited for his teammate. Shox now plays a 1v5, and Dennis closes it. It's all over, 16-14, and an incredible, incredible comeback from Fnatic.
We said these guys have got the potential to make a 13-2 happen, but they just proved it in amazing fashion as well. What a round to finish things off as well. Just grounded out round by round. Didn't let the scoreline phase him whatsoever, and an amazing performance there. G2 have got to be absolutely gutted. That's not a good start for this best of 3.
Flusha just dropped 39 kills, by the way.
Get wrecked. That's unbelievable. After going 1 for 5 to open things up, he finishes on almost a 40 bomb in regulation. That's a godlike form in the second half.
Godlike. That is taking matters into his own hands. That guy's obviously happy. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, G2, though, this is going to tilt them. This is something they literally have to let go of immediately and get on the cash, get things back underway. Because, again, if this goes to train, there's a real chance for them in this series. They may have just missed a free kick, but they still can make this a series. There's no question about it.
Absolutely.
3 bomb plants. Oh.
It's just this Fnatic is so disciplined in terms of like the defense they were bringing to the table every single time. It was a fantastic performance from G2 to kick things off. It looked like there's no chance of them losing this, but we said if Dennis could step up in the pistol round in the second half, there was a chance. There was some form of hope for Fnatic in that second half, and somehow he finds 3 kills.